If you've missed any of the action this split or just are looking to relive your favorite moments, head over to LOLesports.com. There you can find our easy-to-navigate VOD hub with matches from North America, Europe, Taiwan, and the Challenger scene. Easy to say. But now let's get back to the business at hand with Cloud9 versus Winterfox. And we've been hyping this match, but Cloud9 would be on a 7-game winning streak if it weren't for Winterfox playing. Spoiler, they handed Cloud9 their only loss since week 2.
Yeah, and Cloud9 since then, though, have been back to the business. They've showed continued improvement as the split has been progressing. I mean, during this resurgence, though, High has played Zed in 4 of 5 games just recently. And if Zed's not available, it's pretty much Kassadin. It's good for them that High is performing well. It's working in the present, but it does really feel like a patchwork solution. They're not really addressing the core weaknesses of what does High do when he's outside of Zed. Yes, they're taking Zed when it's up, and that is working for them. It just makes me worry about the sustainability of this resurgence.
Maybe we'll see that today if everything he plays is banned out. Meanwhile, Winterfox will have to shake off a tough day on the Rift against Counterlogic Gaming. The team were soundly beaten in a quick 28-minute game.
Whew, that was a tough one. I mean, Winterfox really struggled to keep up with COG's map movements and pressure. And as we've kind of talked about before, Cloud9 can play a very similar early game style to what COG did to Winterfox yesterday, and they're kind of known for their coordinated play. Winterfox, hopefully they were able to remedy what happened to them yesterday to avoid a repeat performance.
All right, and among Cloud9's bag of tricks is the lane swap. And Medio says that a lot of times their best laid plans come down to guesswork.
Normally when they see someone going top lane with their bot lane, they assume they want to dodge the other bot lane because they're not confident playing against those players. They'll be like, oh, they're cowarding out of the matchup. But there's a lot more to it. Sometimes you think they're going to try to dodge you and you try to match them when you go top. A lot of times it's just you're trying to guess what they're going to do. Sometimes your team comp's better for 2v1 and sometimes it's better for standard 1v1 and 2v2. So you just try to get whatever's best for you. But because most of the map is dark and you don't really know what they're doing, a lot of it comes down to guessing.
Yeah, I love what Medio says right there because lane swapping is an inexact science, which is why some of these teams, it's all about how you adjust and adapt to it on the fly. Some teams will just lane swap because they're better at that guessing game, and they like playing those things. Cloud9, we'll see if they end up doing that this game against Winterfox.
Keeps everyone guessing. Let's check out the starting lineups on the blue side. It's Cloud9. That's Balls in the top lane, Medios in the jungle, High in mid, Sneaky at 80 carry, and Lemon Nation at support.
And on the red side, it is Winterfox. Avalon player in the top lane, Helios in the jungle, Pobelter in mid lane, Alltech on 80 carry, and Imagine trying to get settled in as support.
Settled in is indeed. We'll have to see as well, can Avalon really get settled in the top lane? He's kind of been a spot that teams will go after. They can usually get at him and really hurt the team because a lot of pressure needs to be then put in the top lane to help Avalon from Winterfox.
And I do want to clarify something about Avalon's solo queue rating in Korea, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. People saying he was a D3, a D4, a Diamond 2 top laner in Korea. I did some digging, and at the end of Season 4, he was at 111 LP in Masters. His peak was around 140 LP in Masters. So while it wasn't the top of Challenger, he was a Master level solo queue top laner in Korea. And he is also relatively new to the pro scene, so theoretically he is improving because he works so hard with his brother Helios.
Right, we actually saw that yesterday in the video about how those two work together, and that he looks up to Helios a lot, being his older brother and being a veteran for that much longer in the pro scene. And to pick some bans for this game, Cloud9 and Winterfox. Targeted ban for support, the Hecarim as well, and Rek'Sai for Cloud9. So definitely targeted bans there they do not want to see coming out of Winterfox's composition.
It's interesting. Rek'Sai Hecarim is exactly what they used yesterday in their defeat. It was really bad at keeping up with the overall lane swap after it ended. They could do pretty much nothing but double jungle, but they decided to ban it nonetheless. Cloud9 continuing to prioritize that Maokai pick. And there's no Zed ban anywhere, so I'm expecting High to play that or Kassadin later on in the draft.
Over and over. They have a nice comp. They can dive in with each other already and start fighting with the Maokai first pickup. Kalista could be in the cards for Alltech. It would be his second play on that. We haven't seen it since week 3. We'll see if Helios can turn up the heat in the jungle here with his pick of his own. He is
Huh.
definitely been a proponent of how Winterfox gets going in the early game, but
Yeah, when Helios gets going big, typically Winterfox does well. I do not like the Callista pick right here this early. There's already a Maokai on the other side, point-and-click CC. Meteos has also found a lot of success on Vi, another point-and-click onto Callista. I think it's very easy for Cloud9 to lock down Callista with that early pickup. We'll see, though.
maybe they thought they were almost free and clear with the Vhagar being banned out and the Lissandra on that one. Knowing the Maokai could still lock it down. We'll see. Very interesting, as you said. 30 seconds for Cloud9 as they listen to Charlie. Remember, it's on Charlie here for the finalize of the picks. The teams can kind of say what may be around, but he will say you're locking this in. And it is the Zed, it is the Morg. So even if he wants to go hard, he's going to Black Shield have a Black Shield as well.
Makes it even easier for somebody to dive in. Lemon Nation, a history of success on Morgana as a support. Doesn't go with the Braum this time. Can't argue with that pick at least.
Yeah.
So Charlie, we'll see how he adapts now to what Winterfox is throwing in there. Paragon, of course, doing the pick and ban for Winterfox. Match of wits.
Yeah. Basically, the Gnar. Interesting. It's safe, but I feel like Avalon goes with that safety a little too often, and teams now know how to fight around Gnar. A little too easy. The Narvin combo will be picked up by Winterfox. We'll see how they utilize that throughout the game. Pole Belter on a carry style, or a carry orange style champion.
Yeah, he is
Assassinations in.
very good on the block. If he can start getting ahead of Zed, that's a very skill-intensive matchup. A lot of buttons to be pressed in very quick succession between those two guys. Of course, Winterfox with the legendary Narvin combo that has absolutely fallen off in popularity. Like, really, really hard.
It's like Pogs.
It worked, worked for the first, it was like a 2-week thing, and then no one cared about it anymore. Especially with Black Shield and a lot of mobility for Cloud9. They can hopefully Black Shield the guy who might get trapped in that Narvin combo. Ooh. Oh.
Alrighty. That's not the first Nidalee.
This changes things up a lot in my perception of the match, though. Makes Cloud9 much more split push focused. It also makes Callista much more threatening, the fact that it's against a Nidalee and not a Vi. I was expecting Corky Vi with those last two picks on Cloud9, but Meteos has played some really solid Nidalee games, or Nidalee game, and then then it ceased to exist for him. Two Nidalee games, actually. Both victories for Meteos.
Not too bad versus Dignitas and Impulse. Week 4 to week 5. So it looks like they'll be rounding out that composition. I'm still kind of 4 games in a row for high on Zed. And teams realized it. I mean, maybe we were just saying it and it wasn't right. But he was the focus of where teams were getting their wins in the early part of the season, this spring split. And now teams are allowing him to have his highest priority pick over and over again for successful wins. It's going to be difficult. It's definitely a test for Pole Belter, though, if anybody to challenge that. I mean, it'd be the guy who is Zed, right?
A lot of roaming potential in this game as well. Thresh and Jarvan teaming up as a roaming duo, if we do see a lane swap situation, can really focus down one person. It's just a matter of who that person becomes and whether or not it's successful. These teams, 7-4 on Cloud9, 5-6 on Winterfox. So actually not that far apart from each other in the standings. Like if Winterfox wins this, they'd be only 1 game back of Cloud9. It's not a David and Goliath matchup, so to speak. It's just it is Cloud9 and they have that reputation.
Yep. It's going to be a tough match. We've seen Cloud9's mid-game to late game, their ability to take fights and see the fights that they want have been much, much greater than the early part of the split, and are really helping. What we see now is these split push compositions that they're coming out with. They're able to figure out how to get around and spread their opponents thin, making the game that much easier. The shakes between the coaches, and we're about to get into the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting team compositions right there. Cloud9, interestingly enough, their only loss in the last 7 games was to Winterfox, and it was with questionable engage choices. Looking forward to the rematch.
We'll see what happens. None of those top-tier picks, right? As the players head onto the Rift, it's your chance to rock the vote. Send a hashtag C9win or hashtag WFXwin to @LOL Esports, and we'll be tracking how you at home think the game will play out. The crowd is very ready for this game. We're excited. Thumbs up from the casters. And we're about to get into this one. Cloud9 versus Winterfox. We're on the Rift.
All right. So, will we see the lane swap, and what type of guesswork will it involve? More Corki into Kalista Thresh. Honestly, that matchup can go either way. It would heavily depend on the bindings and the death sentences. A lot of lanes are decided by supports, unless it's something really obvious like Caitlyn versus Vayne that could be decided by AD carries in 2v2s.
No cigar.
Nice little defensive ward. Interesting, Cloud9 is going in without any backdoor wards, so only because they think they know exactly where Winterfox is can they brute force in here. But they're completely spotted by all of this. If Winterfox really wanted to, I could see them going for some type of flash flay engage. But it's quite lethal against potential Corki landing a Frostbomb on the whole team.
Right.
They decided to just kind of let Cloud9 ward and then be on their merry way.
They had the exhaust advantage, but they're also versus 2 ignites in that level 1. So definitely something to think about on both sides. I think backing off for both teams was the smarter decision, leaving nothing to chance here for the early game. And Cloud9 did get their wards, or at least their ward. They didn't get as deep as they wanted to on that, so they will not know that the top lane is now inhabited by the duo lane.
Yeah. So I'd say relatively unsuccessful warding. Level 1 for Cloud9.
They like to get the lane swap usually to keep Sneaky safe on that Corki, so it kind of works out for them in general. Maybe they have wanted it this time with the bindings and the shields to stop the Kalista, but we'll see how it plays out. If they lane swap back fast, then we'll know.
Yep, Meteos also starting on a lone side of the jungle, so he'd be very vulnerable to an invade. This is going to work out very well for Cloud9 because they're taking so many camps at level 1. They actually did Krugs with the bottom lane, Raptors with the Maokai,
Right.
and Meteos is soloing his own side of the jungle. That is as quick as you can hit level 2 on multiple champions. And then now is the invade by Imagine, but it's actually just a mid lane roam. They're going to be hoping to stop High. High not playing aggressive early, though.
A 3-man roam to the mid lane. They definitely want to get something out of this. They're seeking. Imagine. He's still level 1, so he only has the flay. That's the flag and drag flash from Helios at level 2 to come in.
And they did catch him at the back side of that one. So a pretty greedy level 1 there by Cloud9, having Meteos on the weak side of his jungle where none of his allies could back him up, trying to solo clear a little bit. They end up losing the experience and the gold from the big wolf. Outside of that, though, they still get the efficiency from the Maokai and the Corki Morg lane.
I like High's adjustment here to his playstyle, hovering the bottom side of mid as well with the team just on his backside in the pocket there for safety. They're going to grab Scuttle because they know the entirety of Winterfox right now is hovering the top side of the map. Very nicely done to go back and mirror this. Or not even mirror that because that blue was Meteos, so they're now going to be grabbing this one.
Yeah. Every one of these lane swaps early games play out a little bit differently in the way that this is evolving. I mean, this one is showing Cloud9 trying to cover 3 quadrants of the jungle. You know, they burned 2 flashes, but they can safely invade because they have the Corki down in that bottom lane. Another thing that was unique about this level 1 is down bottom lane, because Sneaky and Lemonation took the Krugs, they couldn't set up the freeze on the minion wave. But that doesn't actually matter because Winterfox isn't stationing anyone down there to get experience from the minion wave. So Sneaky's farming free, and that experience is actually not being collected by anyone, so the freeze is irrelevant.
We see that ping in the bottom lane for the ward that Meteos just placed. Doesn't look like they want to enter it too soon. Winterfox uses that advantage to ward on the top side.
3-man crab.
Cloud9 uses that advantage to 2-man dragon.
I'll take the dragon.
I'll take the dragon.
In this situation.
It's going to take a little bit longer, but yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be able to stay in party. This is very nice by Cloud9. We saw early dragon yesterday as well. And they're going to make it out nicely. Still losing a bit of their jungle. See if they go ahead to push bottom side. It looks like Meteos and Balls are still just going to hang out and go for Krugs. Same thing for Avalon, Helios, the Wolves. Interesting early game. We'll see who this benefits more.
Try to make every game experience a little bit unique.
Yeah.
Slightly different double jungling strategies. Avalon and Helios becoming closer and closer as brothers, since seemingly every game they're just doing the same job for the first 5 minutes.
Just like being home. Doing things as brothers. 3 long swords for High, all stacked up to the right.
Yeah, this is strange. I feel like Winterfox is losing this early game pretty harshly. Mainly because they continued to freeze the wave. A lot of times you'd like freezing to force a double jungle strategy, but if anyone's just going to double jungle anyway, why not also get the turret damage? It's what Cloud9 ended up doing. I feel like they called that one, and in a sense it is guesswork. Since they opted not to freeze, Cloud9 would have been in the pickle if Avalon had stayed at the turret and gotten support assistance while a freeze was set up in the top lane by Altec. Lane swapping is all very complex, and this is all guesswork. But because that didn't happen, Cloud9 won this in multiple ways. They get a dragon and a turret, plus pretty similar farm across the board. Is just a huge win by Cloud9. If you look at the results.
High was actually down a few CS, but as he approached back to lane, he's perfectly fine. Now, with time to roam around the map, he may have gone a little hard there, but he's 6 to level 3s around him. This is a field day. He's also able to take the shadow back nicely.
No.
They hardly have any levels from it being such a group effort in the early game from Winterfox.
Yeah, I mean, Pobelter's coming in from the backside trying to make something happen.
This is level 6, but they're still out-leveled on this one. Lemon Nation just dodging out of that. Actually, imagine missing the hook, and C9 is going to keep going in. Balls to the teleport. Pobelter has no more distortions. He actually does get one right off a cooldown. Throws the image
They are
out
so
to the left,
low.
and they are just being hit left and right as they try to dodge skill shots. Wow.
They might lose another turret here.
Well, everybody's on the top side of the map. If
Depending on the
Cloud9 didn't
recalls.
get more out of this, I'd be surprised.
Oh, they are keeping them back from recalling too, and the minion wave is about to arrive. Pobelter is level 6. He should have his ultimate back up for some burst here. Teleport has to come in to save.
This is no Gnar, though. It's still going to be another body. That's all they need. Avalon at least to be there. And Cloud9, they just took... We said it was pretty even across the board, but I think that just shifted things a little bit.
This is so similar to the weaknesses that Winterfox was showing in the last game against Cloud9. Cloud9 really just doing... While every early game is unique, it's exploiting the same fundamental weakness of Winterfox, and it's their ability to react and adapt in these lane swap situations. Giving up every advantage early on in the match. Turret, dragon, and kills.
We saw what Rome Pobelter had. He was the only level 6 for this fight. Straight in.
Yeah, Helios in an ideal world waits for the death mark and then EQs away, but he allows High to follow him all the way in. And that just starts the snowball. The bindings, trying to line up the spears for Meteos, and honestly, a tremendous amount of patience by Cloud9 not to overdive that one into the turret and just kind of take the kills as they came.
All about that patience. And the guesswork is paying off. 70 to 30% on the vote from the fans. And Cloud9 will continue the lead. Also remember, Cloud9 can close out games pretty fast, so we'll keep an eye on that. With this lead, we'll see how fast they can extend it. We're going to see balls, no, not actually going too far in that lane with the vision of Altec right now. Good wards to be placed up here by Cloud9 would make that a little bit safer, so we'll see them trying to shift what wards they have in their jungle up in just a few minutes, probably after some backs. The Cutlass now to a Seeker's Arm Guard in the mid lane. Pobelter looking to stay safe. He knows it's not going to be an easy game here. He can't just build power right away.
And the lane matchup has been a little bit skewed because High was able to pick up that kill. High beat Pobelter to the first roam, which is generally the mark of a mid laner who has the pressure advantage. Once again, High proving that when he is on Zed, he competes. He is a perfect fit for the Cloud9 playstyle and the Cloud9 game when he is on Zed. Remarkable that he keeps getting it.
I'm a little sad we actually didn't see him play something else today. It's awesome to see him make plays on Zed, but I want to see Cloud9 tested. I want to see teams try to take advantage of that. Focuses were a bit to the top lane. Obviously, you ban out Balls' Rumble. That's another one you have to get out there. So there are still a few bans that makes it difficult to be able to focus High here for Cloud9.
Yeah.
Meteos to the top focus, though.
And now the skirmishing and split pushing is going to kind of take on another dimension. To speak back to Champion Select, the Callista pick here by Altec in a team fight can be ruthless. I mean, if imagine with his Thresh Shields, a potential exhaust, if Altec can ever make it up to a QSS, has so many ways of peeling back again and again and again. But I don't think Cloud9 is going to let that happen. Zed in Italy is just map pressure, turret pushing, and skirmishes. And I really feel like that's what Cloud9 is going to try and do until they have an insurmountable lead where any type of teamfight prowess by Altec becomes impossible. As you can see, they just rotate from top lane down to mid lane, trying to keep everyone on Winterfox on their heels.
It'd be nice to have Imagine getting some picks with Altec, getting a few of those hooks in, but as they are pretty much avoiding Cloud9 on the map right now. They were in the bottom lane taking that turret, so Cloud9 reacts. They go ahead and gather mid lane to take this. Teleport is about to be up on balls as he goes ahead and farms out the jungle, looking to complete an item for himself. He will be back in the fray soon. Actually, he may just rotate up for Dragon. Good planning here from Cloud9 to take out mid turret and make their way over.
Yeah, a little bit of planning finally by Winterfox. They were able to take the crab before this Dragon. It doesn't really appear like Cloud9 cares that much about stopping that first Dragon, though. Everyone just kind of recalling.
Oh, this is what they care about. There's the flash on one. That's going to be the Cataclysm. That's a 1v1 to Pobelter in the mid lane. Balls will go down here. High's going to get a bit of a push. And this could be Winterfox trying to take the Dragon, but Cloud9 might actually take this fight now.
Yeah, the fact that Pobelter got solo killed right there by High Zed in the mid lane means High is going to be on fire this game. There's no shutting him down, it feels like, at this point. Then, because of the solo kill, they have to respect that, and they can't go for Dragon. They burned the Cataclysm as well from Jarvan in order to get that kill onto balls. Knowing also that he has a teleport on Maokai, it was an untakeable Dragon for Winterfox, and they don't even get an overall advantage because they lose a mid laner while pulling down Cloud9's top.
See the solo.
He landed so much poke on it, and they still had a lot of cooldown, so he just ults in. At this point, it's a guessing game.
Oh, wow.
Flash Ignite.
Just being able to use the shadows like that, you're always one step ahead of your opponent. You can tell when a Zed is kind of fumbling with his skills. He's just all over the place. But
High is a very good Zed.
It looks so calm, or so clean when they're doing it calmly, rather. 13 minutes in, Meteos just gathering up some jungle. He's not really afraid. The team's been doing well. Lemon Nation, however, is doing some scary stuff. He's forced a flash on that one, as I say. They're staying relatively safe.
Wow.
But
that was not a smart move by Lemon Nation, walking in that boldly.
No.
But he gets away with it.
Yep.
That's one of those things where if he's going to be
things.
making a ward play like that, he needs backup of some sort.
Backup or not have Black Shield wear off when you're in the danger zone. Like it wore off as soon as he needed it.
Unreal that he did there.
So Winterfox miss out on what could have gotten them at least a kill over to Altec. They are not going to stop the pressure onto this Dragon, though. Warded out. Both sweepers just missing the edge of that ward, so they have clean vision on the side of Cloud9.
That's not good for them.
Nope. That's the teleport ward, too.
No.
Man! He is out of there. Helios cannot return to this fight. This could be another 1v1. Too many distortion hits. A few more attacks. That's the Ethereal Chain coming out, and High takes the ultimate shadow back, and that's going to be Cloud9's Dragon after a little bit of a back and forth.
Jeez, just really bad luck there by the sweeping from Winterfox, allowing some easy spears from Meteos into that pit. Even if they have been able to sweep it, though, Cloud9 was ready with that collapse to come down. You can really see that mid lane advantage High has snowballing towards the rest of the map. Every time Winterfox looks to make a play, High is coming in from basically behind them because he has so much pressure there in the mid lane.
Yeah, his job's almost easier this time. The team's getting all the distraction from Winterfox, and his split push is actually down mid lane all game. He doesn't have to go to the side lanes.
It's just a push.
He's got the short trip. So 22K to 17.8. Winterfox falling a little bit behind. Avalon's been up in the top lane trying to gather up CS. Still just a bit under balls, which goes to show with all that free time he's had up here. He hasn't been able to do much. Balls as well. We saw him taking camps previously. That was to get his Ninja Tabi so he can be a menace in these fights and make sure if they go long, they're in favor of Cloud9.
Definitely full tank because he's behind on Maokai as well. This is Another example, though, of kind of why Cloud9 is so okay letting NAR through. They were almost the pioneers of the devaluation of NAR and the valuation of Maokai amongst North American teams.
Yeah.
It's because it's all skirmishes. You need to be able to have your spells up right then and there. And they are just simply not allowing the Rage Bar setup from Avalon. I would be very surprised if we saw a single good NAR ult from Avalon this game just because of the way Cloud9 has learned to play around it.
Yep. Also, you get that black shield on whoever even gets caught by it. Speaking of who could be caught, looking at Sneaky there. Triforce spike finish for him. That was actually quite a bit ago, at least a minute or so. Blade of the Rune King and Brutalizer for High. We see him zeroing out Pole Belter all by himself, so that's only going to get easier. Cloud9 continuously pushing forward. Wards next to wards recently placed. They're just getting all the vision that they can. Everybody's participating in that. It's only going to make things easier. Zed starting now with a split push in the bottom lane. High breaks away from the team here. We're going to see if he can start to cause a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, Cloud9 does have what I like to call a good problem, where after killing the outer 3 turrets, sometimes they have a little bit of a delay before finishing the next 3. This has been pointed out by Cloud9 as one of their weaknesses, that they have to be very careful about where they ward and where they invade here, because sometimes they overreach a little bit in their counter jungling without having either the proper wards or the proper side lane pushing.
Right.
That's why this time they're taking it somewhat methodically, making sure multiple waves are pushing at the same time to prevent collapses from Winterfox.
Well, I thought Cloud9 may go a bit aggressive once they saw the members of Winterfox here in the bottom lane. We saw them do that yesterday. They take action immediately when they know they have a chance to. Right now the team backs off. They're going to play this one safe, knowing that High has vision of Altec. And imagine Cloud9's doing what they do best and just controlling the game without giving anything up. Coming out of the base, they have wards galore on top of potions, so it looks like they're going to try to move everything they have up just a little bit more in increments, keep the game going in their favor. Slow game as well, only 3-1. For as much as Cloud9 does, they also avoid the other team while getting what they want quite a bit.
It's true. They've definitely had multiple games this year where it felt like low overall kill scores, but then ended up actually being a really fast win. Against Dignitas, for instance, they had 7 total kills, won that game quickly. Impulse was a little better. They had 14 kills. Yesterday against Coast, it was only 10 kills. And here, it could be another one of those games where they have another low kill score, but a fast victory. Cloud9 does have the fastest average game time of every team in the North American LCS, something that they pretty much have the title of every single split. So they have always known how to close games, and they're usually at the forefront of that in North America.
Yeah.
It just so happens that this year, it's without killing people. It's just winning the game.
A little less flashy. They just get to business and make it happen. Very decisive calls from the team coming around. High, obviously making better calls when he's having a good game. A 2-0 Zed going to be a lot more vocal than a 0-0-0 Zed. Cobalt, good clear, but you can't do much to stop the damage on the turret, and that's what Sneaky's getting right now. Oh, better watch out. He doesn't get a Fate's Call to the face here. They decide not to do it. And Winterfox saves. Actually, that turret just went down, so they don't get the save fate.
The whole reason Sneaky exposed himself a little bit there, because he just wanted that last hit. Very close to getting baited. Although Pobelther doesn't ignite, the ignite most likely would not have killed. Sneaky just getting out with the turret.
Man, this is tough. No gold coming in here for Winterfox on the turrets. No real gold out of the lanes. Altec farmed up well, but right now they are waiting to drop this outer line that Cloud9 is nicely rotating to, stopping everything from Winterfox. And High still able to put pressure on the other side of the map. Steps and steps ahead of Winterfox right now, and they're using it accordingly. Imagine an Altec, always the one to come down.
Yeah, they're successfully getting farm onto Altec. They know that in the end game team fights, if they can somehow get there with close hold, and they can shrink the game away from a split push skirmish game, Altec has a lot of potential to be very successful. That is the one thing Winterfox has going for them here. The fact that he is almost keeping up with High in CS. and also has the lone kill for Winterfox.
We see Altek's build. He knows it's going to be a painful fight, so he goes Bloodthirster. We see a lot of the Callista's Hurricane. He looks for that attack speed from the Zeal. I don't know if it's going to help him enough. There's a lot of damage to keep coming out of this Cloud9 team. Not many people can protect Altek right now either.
It really feels like Meteos has just been farming for a while. 103 CS on that jungle Nidalee, nearly doubling Helios.
He's been quietly on a mission.
I mean, they've had so much map pressure, and Nidalee clears really fast with the Magus enchantment. He was just kind of farming up for that Rod of Ages, and he's going to be effectively another solo laner. I mean, his gold right now is 7,200, which is the second highest on the team. He is an AP Nidalee in every aspect. He's not a supportive type dude here, and you're seeing the power right now.
Yeah, he's 2,000 gold above Balls right now. Definitely has some cash money. I don't know if Winterfox wants to actually go back into their own jungle here. They may find a fight they don't want. The ward they also can't clear. If that's the case, then this is not the spot to be. Elimination gets hooked. Oh dear, they want it even more. Sneaky and Meteos from the outside with all the poke in the world. Almost taken down Imagine. They're going to be able to steal this. Starting to suffocate out Winterfox here. They're looking for a breath. I don't know if this is going to be the one they want. They back off once again and only are able to kind of put down a little bit of vision. Things are looking real tight right now.
And Meteos is actually showing something that we so seldom get to see in pro play, but does happen more and more in solo queue, is the ability of a jungler to get carry items by farming. The team has had enough pressure that it has freed up Meteos to farm. Meteos has also been creating pressure. He's just playing amazingly on Nidalee. But with the jungle item, giving you that 30 bonus gold every time you kill a large jungle monster, even if your CS total is lower, your total gold can get really high really fast. If you're running top to bottom in the jungle, killing the crab as well, and then taking some of the opponent's jungler, you can become a monster. And that is what Meteos has become this game.
Yeah, and while it was a good early game, it wasn't perfect. Like we said, Balls was a little bit behind, but due to that, he played safe, so Meteos could get this farm on. He could do what he wanted, and he didn't have to repair that lane for him up top. So really great team play all around to make this kind of result that Cloud9 has here, only 22 minutes in.
And if I was Meteos right there, I would have yelled at High. Let the jungler kill the crab. He gets 30 bonus gold for it. I mean, High's already given up his blue buff to the Nidalee, so maybe he wants something in return.
Don't be toxic, Jab. Share.
The jungle is for the jungler. He gets more gold. If the laner got extra gold for lane minions, I'd almost never tax.
Hey, we stopped taking your raptors, all right?
Yeah.
We leave those up now.
Yeah, this is a farming display by Cloud9 right now.
Still some damage from Pobelter, but he never has enough for the full kill. Sneaky. Keeping himself on the front line without any lifesteal himself. Definitely has to be careful at how many times he does that.
True.
Wards up as Winterfox. They want to get something. Ooh, maybe a pinch on High here. But it also is going to be Meteos along with him.
It could be a team fight. They better teleport in here, yep.
Oh, Balls right in the middle. He's going to be able to put on the ultimate immediately. And they are just going to take Winterfox out on this. You could almost see it as it started. Out goes Sneaky, down goes Imagine. Sneaky turns around to get another one. Willie triple kill. Avalon's going to be doing his damnedest to take down Sneaky, but he scoots just to the left. Avalon flashes over the wall, and it is going to be the triple kill as Sneaky puts on his dancing shoes for that one.
Clean ace. 23 minutes in, Cloud9 finds the kills. It's because Winterfox tried to force a fight, but because of the massive farm discrepancy, and because they were not able to fight directly within the Mega Gnar window, they can't get anything done in that fight. 5-0, they lose the gold and the Baron.
Bing, bang, boom, Baron as well. 24 minutes in, 8-1. It was Balls that went down valiantly for the team, so they don't get out with no kills, or deaths rather.
Balls went down hours ago, it felt like. This was a 5-0 for Cloud9.
Oh yeah, you're right,
Yeah, I mean, High dip dives, dodges, the EQ and the Thresh ultimate get burned onto nothing. And then Altek, who wants to be the mobile carry at the back of the fight, traps himself in the Raptor pit. And then it's a point-and-click stun. That was the fear picking Callista into a Maokai. At that point, Avalon only able to Gnar ult Sneaky, who very soon afterwards gets revenge. And then buys an Essence Reaver. Because...
Yeah, because mana.
So, interestingly...
Interest me.
As Cloud9 This is another reason Cloud9 is so fitting for Zed in the mid lane. Sneaky loves to play mana-intensive AD carries. Oftentimes when High plays Zed, they'll actually start giving the blue buff over to Corki, so Sneaky can just spam to his heart's content. But this time, because Meteos is playing Nidalee, he wants the blue buff. Sneaky's so used to having a bunch of mana, why not just build an Essence Reaver?
We remember back, I believe it was either Spring or Summer play, Sneaky played AD carry Jace, all those mana-intensive champions. Oh, Avalon, no! So bound, so down. Avalon does not get to gnar out this fight. 26 minutes on the clock. I said 24 minutes, obviously 2 minutes ago, but look how much progress they make in 2 minutes.
Progress.
Now up to the top turret. Dragon's going to be up in a minute 30. It's all about time, everyone. It's all about managing your time and what's on the agenda. Right now, the agenda is... Oh no! The Fate's Call saves that one. Mark it off. We got a new slot, and it's going to be a kill onto Helios. That's the turret as well, and they're just going to push on slowly to the inhibitor.
They have the Baron buff. This is an easy inhibitor for them to take. Altec has got to abandon ship here.
Abandon everything. This is going to be tough. They may need to abandon the fountain. The inhibitors are going down. The Nexus turrets can follow. Balls does go a little too hard on that one as Pobelter distorts into his Nexus turrets. So they're reassessing the fight. Sneaky's already on the outside, ready to go in with the DPS. Meteos hopping out the gate. Everybody's going to be safe. Double wards. What does it mean?
Winterfox was triple warding last game. Cloud9 double wards inside the base. Yeah, this is just a nice push. If Winterfox wants to fight, it might not work.
Ooh, good exhaust. I don't know if it's going to save Imagine. No, it does not. Pobelter goes in, tries to get the kill on High. He's going to get the pop there. High does go down, but there's still too much DPS sitting on the board. Like we said, Meteos able to put out so much power this game from his farm fest. And the second inhibitor goes down consecutively. Cloud9 hasn't even left his side of the map.
Why is Cloud9 backing? They could end the game right now. I feel like they could. They're just deciding to play it a little bit safe. They had the Baron buff up. There were only 2 alive members. Of course, Baron was about to expire, so may as well go back.
Sneaky needs mana.
Who's going to get it? Sneaky got it. It's because Meteos can go get his own. And he's built that Rod of Ages just in case he can't get it.
Yeah, he's the big boy now. Even for High, a Maw of Mortius fixed up for him, so the magic damage of Pobelter probably won't zero him out as fast. We did see him get popped last fight. But that's what needed to happen for Winterfox a little earlier, those kills. 2 inhibitors were taken on that last endeavor for Cloud9, so it probably will be the Nexus turrets and the rest following up. 4 of 4 Dragons and 1 Baron. The next one's Aspect. I don't know if we'll even get there. A Rylai's. That's annoying.
He's tank
for Nidalee.
That guy's a tank.
And the Sorcerer is
320 ability power, as well as 2,777 health on Nidalee. He has more health than Maokai, but obviously less armor. So not nearly the same level of tankiness. A couple things I want to touch on in the item builds as Cloud9 pushes towards what is pretty much an inevitable victory at this point. I want to discuss the Essence Reaver on Corki.
I like that.
A lot of people will say he's only building this item because they are really far ahead.
Sure.
Which might be true, but I want to talk about the merits. It does just as much damage as the Bloodthirster, and if he is free to auto-attack minions, allows him to spam without the blue buff. And then when you do build the Bloodthirster, it is straight up damage. Corki very rarely benefits hugely from like Infinity Edge Last Whisper type synergy from hitting. So doing Essence Reaver Bloodthirster may be the right build on Corki in some situations.
Well, there's a right quick catch onto Altec. That's what we were worried about. Some of the stuns coming in for the Callista play, and that one was actually a Dark Binding.
Oh no.
Another one coming in from Lemon. If he had the auto attacks, he would have got it. Goes for the Zanyas for style points. And Cloud9 go all the way around the horn, but they actually walk past the last inhibitor for the Nexus turrets. Just under 30 minutes on this game. They look to put the final touches on as Sneaky completely tanking out the Nexus turret. Obviously, Cloud9 looks for the kills as they put themselves goal side to the fountain. They're going to take down the Nexus, though. Cloud9 takes down Winterfox.
Great week for Cloud9. Quite honestly, they only suffered 5 deaths the whole week.
Wow.
Destroying Coast, taking down Winterfox in only 29 minutes and 40 seconds, shortening their average game time for the year and remaining the lowest average game time of North American LCS teams, as well as solidifying their place in the top 3 of the standings.
Oh, the hugs all around, I guess. It's just that kind of game. Hard fought by Cloud9, and the form it's creeping back. Cloud9 is definitely starting to look good. They moved themselves to 8-4 now on the split with the other top 2 teams of Counterlogic Gaming and Team Solo Mid.
Absolutely. That is now 7 of their last 8. 7 wins in their last 8 matches for Cloud9. I mean, so much of this revolves around High's champion pool, because at the moment it's Zed. Next week we're going to be moving to a new patch. The Kassadin nerfs will be in effect. He won't be playing Kassadin as a backup. If the Zed is banned, I wonder. I really wonder, because so much of what Cloud9 does revolves around him being on that manless mid laner that can still dominate people, and it just allows everyone on Cloud9 to shine.
Right. Earlier I was talking about how Meteos had an easy farm time because, you know, Balls played it safe after being down. But it was really, if we look back, people were focusing High in the mid lane, and that's where Meteos would have to go. He'd have to be in the back pocket of High. He wouldn't have 155 farm in the jungle in a game. Yeah. But now he is. Like you said, that Zed, I think, is a huge pickup that teams need to look at.
Yeah. And to talk a little bit about Winterfox, this was a really tough week for them. They got destroyed in lane swap situations 2 games in a row. Obviously a tough schedule coming in and playing against CLG and then Cloud9, arguably the 2 best teams at demolishing people with map rotations.
Right.
Doesn't get much easier. They start next week with TSM. So they're really running the gauntlet here in the second half of the season before they get an easier schedule down the stretch. They're going to have to be able to have some strong mental toughness if they continue to fall here. That's 3 losses in a row and maybe 4 if they lose to TSM.
And you'd hope that it would get easier, but it's only going to get more tough. We see teams like Team Solo Mid and other teams trying different compositions. So while you spent this whole split watching their games, figuring out how they play, they're now wanting to try different things. So you're already going to be a step behind as we get into the second half here, which has already started, and teams need to start picking up these wins. Cloud9 move up 1 more, which is huge for them and the fans. We always wondered, what, again, if this happened in the beginning of the split, would it be Cloud9 trying to put another record out?
I know, right? It does start to feel like they're on their way back. The start of the season was so rough for Cloud9. After the first 2 weeks, they were a 1-3 team.
Right.
Now that they're 8-4, it appears that's a very respectable schedule. They're one of those teams that they never stay down for long, and it does look like they're starting to get back.
I mean, this is their 1-1. This was them getting a game back on Winterfox.
What's strange is talking to Sneaky yesterday in the interview, he said they lost almost all of their scrims last week.
So
always going to be tricky.
Don't play how you practice sometimes. Let's send it down to the side stage where Kobe's joined by Cloud9's Master of Shadows.
Maybe. All right, I am here with High after another win on Zed. Congratulations, High.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now, first I wanted to ask you about lane swaps, because Cloud9 are so good at lane swaps. You guys have always been really good at lane swaps. How much of it is preparation before you get into the game, going over different scenarios with all the players, and how much of it is reactionary calls once you see things start to develop in the game?
So we know what matchups go well for balls 1v1. Say, for example, Maokai versus Gnar. Gnar kind of dumpsters Maokai like really hard on a 1v1 lane. So you don't really want to 1v1 that. You want to look for a 2v1. And we didn't get the deep wards to be able to do that game. So we just, it's like a 50-50 guess almost every game if you get the lane you want or not. And we happen to get the lane. So we know what we want and we try our best to get it. But sometimes it just comes down to luck.
All right. Well, you guys are now 7-1 in your last 8 games on a huge win streak. And you continue to get Zed over and over. Now, is this just another case of Cloud9 just picking the strong champions that are given to them again? Or do you need other champions in the mid lane?
Well, Zed's a strong champion right now. It's not like the other champions aren't strong mid. It's just, I think a lot of mid laners right now are finding issues finding a blind pick mid that's an AP champion that they want to play. Like, no one plays Orianna anymore. Xerath isn't safe. Like, almost all the AP mids no one wants to play anymore. So you need blind pick mids that are safe. And Zed's like one of the best blind pick mids. So I'm just picking him because he's super strong. So.
Good answer. Now you guys are also, you have IEM coming up, another international event. I know those are really big for you guys because you love the international experience. What are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, I don't even know who's at that tournament yet. I haven't looked at it yet. I figure next week, since we're going to fly out after the LCS, I'll start looking into the teams that are playing there. I know there's like GE Tigers, like TSM, and like some European teams, but I haven't really thought about it because I'm focused on LCS right now. We're only 8-4, still third place. Got to get up more. And once IM's there, I'll think about it then, but for now, whatever.
All right, well, congratulations, and hopefully you guys can keep it going. All right, we are going to send it back over to the guys at the desk now.
Thank you, Kobe. And gentlemen, I want to talk about the very interesting level 1 we had, the strategy from Cloud9 to pick up as many jungle camps as they could right off of the bat. Maokai taking the Raptors with the saplings, the bot lane taking the Krugs, Meteos soloing his own jungle, Gromp to the blue, and how that kind of gave them the advantage to then roll into a 3-buff start.
Yeah. Winterfox let him do it. Like,
Yeah.
Imagine was helping the jungle and top laner, and he didn't go stop Meteos. We saw Sheep in the previous game harassing with Annie. The Thresh should have walked up and should have had tabs on Meteos to stop him from pulling off that move on the strong side of the map for Winterfox.
Yeah, exactly. There's ways to replicate C9's success, so certainly I'll agree with you that Winterfox misplayed it, but the way C9 did it was very smart. So basically, what you call the strong side of the map is where your AD carry and support are laning, and the weak side of the map is where they aren't. And C9, they started on the weak side of the map, which gives them the chance of 3-buffing, which actually happened this game. But they start on their side, right, the bottom left side, the blue side, of the weak side of the map, which lowers the chances of getting caught. It increases your chances of getting away. It increases the chance of your mid laner coming and helping you. It increases the chance they don't have wards on you. And so of the greedy starts, it's the better greedy start. It's the better quadrant to start on, and they got rewarded. And this is, if you're looking to start greedy, how you should do it as well.
Yeah, and also the fact that they took the Krugs and they took the Raptors. If we had the Helios go from blue to red on that side and just went across the side, there's less camps for him to take anyway. Mm-hmm. So actually really good move by Cloud9, and they capitalized on it immediately, and they got Meteos just that much more farm, that much more experience over Helios, and then Helios kind of did this. I mean, I know Winterfox is a family, but they're kind of codependent in that game.
Well, I mean, Winterfox,
Yeah.
they did try to make some kind of a reactive play with that early invade on the Wolves. Unfortunately, the good flashes from both Meteos and Balls kept them alive, allowed them to just cut across the mid lane, and then they actually had the distance covered to beat them to their own Winterfox's blue buff.
Yep. And then that's their strong side of the map on Cloud9. So even if they did get invaded on the blue buff, they had sneak
AD carry
elimination
support
there.
show up. Yeah, and what's also interesting is the way the rest of level 1 played out, because we watched the jungle play, but also keep in mind what else was happening. So Altec is up in the top side of the map freezing, and nothing's happening. He's just getting farm and Callista, saying, all right, guys, have fun in the 4v5. But Sneaky Lemon are actually making progress. They're actually getting some pressure on the bottom turret, right? A turret killed with no damage on the one on the other side of the map, because Lemon doesn't have to go babysit these junglers. Balls and Meteos just happen to outplay the 2-on-3 in the jungle somehow. Okay, Flash has got burned, congratulations, but not only do they start on the better side of the map and get better jungle camps going, but their dual lane did something more important as well and actually make progress so that when the lanes swap back, all kinds of crazy things are now available on the map.
Not to mention the fact that having started on the top side of the map, rotating to the bottom side, put them in the position to 2-man the dragon after that, while Winterfox is left with a 3-man crab attempt.
Yep.
Got a crab, So they had 3 people taking a crab out, while 2 people were soloing Dragon on the bot side of the map. And then while that was happening, as you mentioned, Cloud9's bot lane actually successfully took that turret down. So that's a huge gold swing on top of, yes, the 6% AD and magic, which is not that much in the early game, but hey, you're starting that Dragon train rolling, because they ended up picking 3 or 4 Dragons up by the end of the game.
Sure.
And then it becomes a little bit more relevant.
Yeah, and keep in mind as well, the top crab that was taken is not even useful. Altec is freezing under his turret. You don't even need wards there. Nothing's going to happen to that guy in the first place. It's actually like an actual waste of time that says, look, Winterfox, you're a new team. You're still figuring out your shot calling. Krepo used to be a big voice in this roster, keep in mind. He's there telling Elements what to do, and they're looking better because of it. Winterfox lose that voice. They lose a lot of that veteran expertise and how to play the map and how to plan your moves 3 minutes in advance, and it shows in all of these examples.
And the fact they used 3 people for it, it's not just a waste of time to do that crab in general, it's the waste of time for 1 person, let alone 3. Like, think of just what Lemon was doing that game in opposition to what Imagine was doing.
Sure.
Imagine was making some moves, but they were a little late, And then he's helping them for so long try to get high, doesn't get anything, tries to get scuttled, they get that. But Lemon is pushing a turret and just using his time much more wisely.
So a poor start for Winterfox, a good start for Cloud9, whichever way you want to look at it. I do want to go to the point where Winterfox's fate was kind of sealed.
Okay.
And it's not very far into the game. It's it's in the top river jungle, around that top turret. Cloud9 takes a good fight.
Yeah, there's a point where Pobelter backs, and then Helios and a bunch of Winterfox just invade down. They're seen by Meteos, and then they don't abort the operation to get that deep vision, and then they don't go out the way they came. They go up around, and they're completely stalked by Sneaky, Lemonation, and Meteos, and then they engage on. We actually have a replay of that, and we're going to pull that up on your screen right here. And this is where the binding lands from Lemonation, and they've just been stalked all the way up their jungle, and High is already rotated. Pobelter just now got back to lane. He's still 5. He wants to hit 6 before he comes here. So he's going to be extremely delayed. And start rolling the clip now. We're going to see the collapse here. High, he's going to get in there. He's going to get on Helios. And this is just really huge that he is level 6. And Helios, the jungler, the top laner, and the support are all level 3 still.
Kills him with the exhaust as well.
Yeah, it's just the buddy system there. There's just have too little experience spread over too many people.
Yeah, Pobelter arriving too late to the party here doesn't have the ability to really 100 to 0 anybody, so he can't have the same effect that High had. The teleport from Balls comes in. And if you look at the skill shots too, on top of the fact that they did have, as you said, Cloud9 played properly to stalk them through the jungle, the skill shots were hitting.
Yeah,
every single spear hit, multiple bindings. It's hard. You can't win a team fight if the other team's hitting every single skill shot.
Hey, can we just take a second and focus on Meteos? Because that guy farmed out of his mind. He's #1 at CS for 10 for junglers because he just does such an amazing job staying in the jungle and continuing to snowball from there. He's gotten Nidalee multiple times in the last couple of games here, and it's a perfect champion for him. It also covers the weakness of them playing Zed in mid lane.
Sure.
Because then he's just like, oh, we're all physical damage, Nidalee jungle.
That. Yeah. And it's further more impressive just to watch how Cloud9 are managing to play with a farm jungler where he's clearly not trying to pressure lane. He's not really looking to counter jungle. He's just focusing on getting camps. And yet C9 aren't losing vision control. They're not losing gank pressure. They're not getting punished for what's essentially a glorified Master Yi jungle, right? Where he's like, I'm just staying in here with no CC and killing camps over and over again. See you guys in 20 minutes when I got my Rod of Ages.
Yep.
And
that's all there is to it. That's the way the Cloud9 is winning right now. So another fantastic win by them.
Yep.
We do have to step away, but after this break, our 2 MVP mid laners from 2014 are going to face off with Team Impulse versus TSM. So you don't want to miss it.
But now let's get back to the business with Cloud9 versus Winterfox. He may have gone a little hard there, but he's 6 to level 3s around him. This is a field day.
I'm gonna stick on L-Tech. I'm gonna stick on L-Tech.
Okay, can you root him?
No, 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Okay.
1.
Yeah.
I'm rooting. I'm queuing.
Yeah, I got it. Let's take Bears.
Yeah.
Keep taking that.
I can trap this guy.
Yeah.
Meteos got him.
Nice.
What's on the agenda? Right now the agenda is, oh no, the Fate's Call saves that one. Mark it off. Cloud9 takes down Winterfox.